Hello. Sorry, my computer's glitching. Hi. Can you guys see me and hear me? Hello, hello. Who's in here? It's late tonight. It's a late night. Hi. Let me see. Taking roll. Who is here? We're back with more Mackenzie Shirilla. My StreamYard is really messing up. Yes, okay. You guys can see me and hear me okay? Let me see who's here. Green-eyed, Evie. Okay. Hi. Hello, hello. Doreen, hello. Okay, some of you are up late. It is Saturday night. I saw Joe in here. Joe looking. J. Lou, hello. Evie, Debbie, Green, Christine, Osane, Jerry, Janie. Okay. There's a good crowd. I haven't been on this late in a while. Old, but but still wait. Hey, I didn't say that. Hello, staff. Michelle. When Melly comes on, it kicks me out of chat. Really? Yeah, it's been acting up. Did you guys get a notification? Hello. Hello, Jessica. I saw in here. I wanted to read some text tonight, but I kind of want to get through the Mackenzie Shirilla, Chris Cuomo segments that he has done as of recent. We're still going to continue to cover it. Hello, Laura. Yes, back from vacay to binge. Okay, cool. Just as I am, Melissa Hertz. Yeah, this will probably be a members only after the live. So, shout out to all the members. We're gonna do maybe another one tomorrow too. That will be specifically chat only for members. Thank you. So please make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna be just hanging out, enjoying our chill Saturday night. We're gonna be talking about Kenzie, which always leads somewhere. But we'll remain respectful. We can agree to disagree. It's okay if you think she's guilty and you don't think she deserves a new trial and you don't like her. And it's okay if some people think that maybe she does or they do like her. We'll remain respectful. Let's see. There's 3 of the Cuomos. I had some texts I wanted to go over, a police report, but let's do Chris Cuomo. Because we could always do another members only tomorrow since I am a little bit behind on the members. Thank you, blessed always, for becoming a new member. Let me see. What else do I have? Oh yeah, I wanted to go over Mama Russo's text with Kenzie tonight as well. And I have 3 new reports that I have from comparing the documents just like we did in one of the other lives. So love me some Cuomo. I really, really, really like him too. Hey, Legally. Hey, Millie, I was just messaging. Yeah. Thank you, Blessed, for being here. Okay. Let's get started with Chris Cuomo. This is a segment where he talks about her last motion in Ohio. Let me pull it up. He does a great job. I really enjoy him. If you missed the live earlier, we did David. We've been covering David Anthony Burke, who unalived Celeste Rivas Hernandez, allegedly. We did a really good live earlier. Really good live. We listened to some text messages. So definitely make sure you go check that out. Please, please, please. And always give it a like. Shout out to the replay viewers as well. So we're just hanging out. Grab a drink, grab some snacks.
Good. Finally figured this thing out. I feel like such an old person. Anyway, I'm on right now live randomly without telling you guys. Rose will put out.
I do. I really like Cuomo.
An email if you guys care, and I'll also post this afterwards. But I think that this Mackenzie Shirilla request for reconsideration is being given short shrift. I think I'm going to turn off this. Yeah, is being given short shrift by the prosecution. Okay. They're arguing a very interesting and straight line analysis, which is, I don't want to go too into the weeds, but maybe you guys want that. So the Mackenzie Shirilla case, as we all know, if you're into true crime at all, she was convicted of taking the car and basically running it into a school and killing her boyfriend, killing one of her longtime friends.
Wait, a school? Oh, sorry, honey. It's not right. What was the 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 building? Wasn't it like some kind of, like, what is that? Is it like a Home Depot? Let me look it up. Oh, okay. Pipeline repair and maintenance products. Interesting. Let me look at the products here. Okay, they have something called connectors, hot tapping, and line stop. Yeah, don't know anything about it, but cool. Okay, we just know it wasn't a school. That's fine, Chris. We'll forgive you. We know you've been busy studying.
And almost killing herself. The problem with the case is pretty thin. It was a pretty good trial in terms of, like, you know, checking all the right boxes and the prosecution making the case. There were a couple of fundamental errors made by Mackenzie's team, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, I say my opinion because if there were real and objective errors made, then that's going to be her best chance as ineffective counsel, which is a very common basis for appeal. Now, you will say, yeah, but hasn't she appealed already? Yes, multiple times. And the big problem that she has is a statutory timing issue, which I'll talk about. The substantive problem for me with the case was, one, you had to believe that she wanted to kill herself also for the charge that the prosecution went for. And they chose a bench trial, which was, I believe, a huge mistake. They're very rarely picked. Yes, statistically.
He's an attorney. I think, I don't know if he still practices, but I know he was an attorney or is an attorney. I just don't know if he's actively practicing. Yeah, we can forgive him anytime. He looks like he did some push-ups. Listen, I don't mind the push-ups, respectfully. Been binging all the text videos for a week. Well, yeah, we're gonna go through the text still. Yeah, I know some of you guys think she's crazy. If I did a clip on a live where the high school therapist gives Kenzie a diagnosis of DMDD, look into that. It's very interesting. Or we could do that here together after this video, but it's very interesting. And yeah, I think that should have been more of a factor in all of this, but that's just my opinion.
Even in Ohio,
But she even said she wasn't, trying to unalive herself. So there's that.
Do convict less often than a jury, but they are usually because it's going to be super specific, data driven, and the belief is that the judge will understand that technicality better. Here, the data was the devil because it showed that there was nothing but acceleration. And it was a 4-second window right before the crash. And 4 seconds doesn't sound like a long time until you remember that we're dealing with physics here. And something moving at an accelerating rate of speed of somewhere between 70 and 100 miles an hour for 4 seconds, that's, that's a good amount of time. People run 40 yards in 4 seconds. So, 4, 5, whatever, 4, 4, 4, 2 now. So you can travel far. That's a long time in terms of assessing the data. Okay. So the real issue that could...
I think Chris Cuomo is also getting as many hate comments as I do. I can only assume.
Go to ineffective counsel.
I haven't looked at them,
is
but
that Mackenzie Shirilla argues, and her family argues, that she has a medical condition called POTS, all right, which is an acronym that basically just says, your blood pressure changes when you go in different situations, and you can basically have some kind of fit where you lose consciousness. The mother I interviewed here, you can watch the interview on my Crime Time channel. Thank you for subscribing and following.
Yes, we are subscribed. Mr. Chris Cuomo.
She says that she had POTS for years and that she's had conversations, multiple conversations with friends about what to do if Mackenzie has an episode, and that they have medical documentation. None of that was offered at trial. Why? All I know, because the lawyer won't talk to me, all I know from the record is that it wasn't presented. All I know from the family is that the lawyer said the judge wasn't buying it. But I believe that there is a legitimate basis. Now, understand this, and this is where it can get a little hard.
Yes, understand this, he said.
Mackenzie Shirilla did it. Am I surprised it was bound over? Meaning that she wasn't tried as a juvenile. A little.
Okay.
I think that I would not have been surprised if this had been dealt with as a juvenile case. Why? Because it could just as easily have been deemed an accident. Why? Because Mackenzie Shirilla, I don't believe, was suicidal. Oh,
I don't believe it either, Chris.
But there were texts where she said a lot of things. There are texts where he said a lot of things. There are texts where the parents said a lot of things. I don't think they're dispositive. And
thank you.
And it is unusual that someone is suicidal, doesn't really get any treatment, winds up killing her beloved and one of her best friends, and is no longer suicidal after it. It doesn't really make sense to me. Now, putting that to the side, it doesn't mean that I think she should get away with it. It doesn't mean that I think this is forgivable. It doesn't mean that I think anything like that. What I'm doing is what is often absent within true crime, which is respecting due process. Respecting the process.
Oh, I like this.
And making sure it's done right. Why? Because that is the beauty of our system. Yeah, but we got it right this time. She's a piece of shit. She meant to do it. She's where she belongs. Don't mess with it. Leave her there.
And I know a lot of you agree with that part of what he was saying.
When you do that, you make it more likely that people who don't deserve to be there wind up there. You have to exercise the system. The system has to be, look, is it imperfect? Yes. Does it make mistakes? Yes. Is it blind? No. Okay. But it's really the best thing we got going in our democracy right now, if you think about it. It's the only one of the three branches that's even close to standing up to its constitutional duty. But, you know, that's like almost a political argument, although I would say, no, it's a functional governmental argument. But whatever. Here's the point. I'm not saying she should get off. She's not going to get off. It's that the biggest implication of what I'm saying is that there would be a trial where they allowed evidence of the POTS. Why? Because if the POTS is the reason that she kept accelerating and crashed through the thing because she had an episode, which she has had in the past, then I don't know how they get the charge on her. Even a judge who doesn't seem to like her. I don't know how.
Wow.
You get it. Because there is a legitimate medical explanation for what happened, which makes it an accident, or maybe makes it manslaughter because she should have known that she has the thing and she shouldn't have been driving or whatever. However,
okay,
I'm not saying that it is a complete defense here. Why? Because there's no data that anything was done. The wheel never moved. There was no action on the pedals, and you'd have to think that it's unlikely that she wouldn't have had any type of reaction, or that the guy next to her wouldn't have done anything. So it's not complete. It's not perfect. But what are we talking about today? Where are we with this? Because that's all old news, everything I just said, as long as you've been following the case. Because I don't think a lot of people know that her counsel failed to present any of the medical evidence. And if you're like me, you thought he made it up for trial, that they made this up, you know, that they were just going with this at trial as a way of dealing with the charges. But you know, if the parents are right and the documents that they show aren't fake, then she did have this condition. And is it a weird condition? Yes. Have I heard of it before? I have, but that's because I do this for a living. It is not a common thing. It's not something I've really seen explored well in jurisprudence, in the legal system. So where are we now? So her appeal.
He's saying a lot of really good things here.
Failed. Why? Because procedurally it was late. Oh yeah, but it was late because of like leap year, and they didn't know that the trial transcript meant the bind over one, which is where they decided to treat her as an adult. And that's a reasonable mistake. And equity, fairness would mean that they should give her a chance. Well, here's the problem with that. And this is pretty clear under Ohio law. When it is an equitable issue, meaning that the court has jurisdiction to see whether or not what's fair, then that kind of technicality can be overlooked. This is what's called a jurisdictional statutory issue. And as a jurisdictional issue under Ohio law, they have to follow what the legislators put in there. And if there's no exception or forgiveness for this, and there isn't, there's just a 365-day count. They say, yeah, but it was leap year and this and that. There's no allowance for that within the statute. So the court says, I can't help you. That's where this stands right now. And there is no precedent in Ohio that I can find where this has been overcome on an appeal, where a jurisdictional fail by statute from the legislature, obviously, is overlooked by the Ohio courts. So does that mean it's over? No. Why? Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus, what does that mean? Latin, you have the body. What does it mean? It means that once state remedies are exhausted, there is an existing violation of a constitutional premise, protection, a right that requires you to present the body and let them make the case. Now, you don't retry the case. They're very rare. But one of the avenues of opportunity here is the Sixth Amendment, which is right to counsel.
Okay.
She had ineffective counsel. Why? Everybody argues ineffective counsel. I know. But I think she actually has a case here because he should have presented the medical evidence. Now, look, one, it should have been a jury trial. Is that ineffective counsel? No, not really. People make that choice. You have to make the choice. She made the choice. Okay. He didn't get all the text in there. There were some text that showed that it wasn't just her threatening him. He had been threatening her. So, okay. But
we do need that other phone. And also we're seeing this in 𝗠𝗲𝗃𝗃 right now. If you haven't been keeping up with that, sorry, I was hearing background noise. I have a playlist, but 𝗠𝗃𝗃𝗃 is basically doing the same thing right now. She was the one who stabbed the OnlyFans model who stabbed her boyfriend, 𝗶𝗏𝗏𝗆𝗃. And like all her bad character stuff has like been playing a role, right? And now her defense just filed a motion to bring his bad character into play as well. And I'm kind of agree with that because you can see the overall picture and there is always three sides to the story, right? His, hers, and the truth. So there are things that prove, well, allegedly so far, hasn't gone to trial yet. We're going to be following that trial heavily. But there is apparently videos and texts where he was abusing her, DV type of situation. So not that I'm saying that's the case here, but if one's bad character is going to be a factor, I think it should be like that all across the board for people involved.
I don't know that it really would have changed the judge's mind. I don't know that it's, overwhelming prejudice. And obviously the judge didn't think that either. Okay. The next one is that he didn't present the medical evidence. That's the big one. Okay. And I think that that is a legitimate basis for ineffective counsel if she gets the chance to make it. The habeas corpus could be that chance. And that has a strict timeline too, but it's 1 year after everything is exhausted at the state level. So she's not there yet. So habeas is still available. It is rare. It is limited, but I think she's got a shot. Now, is that because I like Mackenzie Shirilla? No, it is not because I don't like anything about this. And look, I see all the comments.
Thank you, Chris. He's getting trolled in the comments. As long as the evidence shows that there were a bad character on his part, I'm good with it. It's when there isn't or it's playing out to be bigger. Agreed. Angry, but our system isn't fair, isn't okay. We could be the next, and then what? We'll just have to eat it because our system isn't fair. That should never be okay. I agree. Our system does need some revamping. And I also think people who hurt children need heavier what like sentences. I do. He didn't do very many. I think I heard some that they both hired. Yeah. Let's continue. Chris Cuomo's so good.
That you're making here about the parent.
He says, I see the comments. Let's go back a little bit.
You can believe all that. You can believe all that. Do I believe that? It doesn't matter to me. I can see both sides of it. I am a parent. I have a 16-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 23-year-old. I understand parenting. I've covered it for years and years and years beyond my.
It's okay to see both sides of it. Oh my God. I just said it. Is the world ending? Is it ending right before our eyes right here as I sit on stream with you guys? Has the world ended? Am I just dreaming that I'm here? Yeah, let's keep it chill in the chat. Let's keep it chill in the chat.
Own experience. Okay. Now, it's not incorrect. Something being known about during the trial. Wendy Williams enters the chat. I don't know who that is. It's not Wendy Williams. So I'm looking at the picture. I know Wendy Williams. Anyway, it was known during the trial. What does that mean? Was evidence produced? Was it put on? No, not in any significant way. That's what I'm saying. And
I can think she's, Melly, I'm scared. Why? Because the world's ending. Come over in the trial transcripts. A lot more makes sense. Should read the trial transcripts. Crazy. There's going to be some things happening in trial. It definitely didn't. We're reading the trial transcripts here. We just read the bind over, and we're going to be reading the regular trial. I'm going to do David's tomorrow first, and then I'll do Kinsey. So maybe we'll do 2 lives. Yeah, be nice. I think Dom did break her down, and it affected how she felt, in my opinion. He was no saint, but I do believe they had issues on both ends. It was not only Kenzie being quote unquote crazy. Thank you, Barbie. I agree.
Look, are people with POTS allowed to hold a driver's license? That's a good question. That's a good question. We'd have to look at how Ohio deals with it, because there are, a lot of people who have seizure disorders where you can't. Now, is this a seizure? Technically, no. I don't know. We can find out. I'll find out right now. Hold on.
Oh.
If you have POTS, can you drive under Ohio law? The answer is you guys know, you've been following this, so you know what POTS is, right? Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Yes. What does that mean? That when you go from standing, orthostatic, postural, tachycardia means that your heart, your blood pressure gets affected when you move like this or in different ways. That's what it means. There's no Ohio law that says a person with POTS can't hold a license. However, the law does focus on whether a medical condition impairs your ability to drive safely. So it's case by case. If the symptoms are well controlled and don't cause loss of consciousness or sudden incapacitation, which is exactly what she's argue happened, but that would still make it reckless, right? So even if she shouldn't have been driving, that gives you to recklessness as opposed to intentionality. I mean, I just think that if the jury had been presented with this evidence, they may have very well seen this as reckless and not intentional. That's what I'm saying. And does that?
That's actually agreeable.
Matter?
Yeah.
Should still be in prison. The sentence could be similar. Yeah, it matters to me. Why? Because I believe in due process, and I believe that the system should be fair. Do I think she did this? Yes. Do I think she meant to do this? I don't know. Do I think the evidence tells that story? Yes. Beyond a reasonable doubt. The way the case was tried, yes. Beyond a reasonable doubt, if you presented the medical thing, and I could see that she's had past things, maybe. I think you could have hung it. You could have hung it. I definitely think that. In the bind over, it didn't hold weight, so I'm sure the lawyer knew it wouldn't in the end. Now, the reason it didn't was different in the bind over hearing. And by the way, POTS wasn't a huge issue there either. This was a little.
I think the mental health stuff should have played more of a role on both ends. It is important.
A bit of a media thing also. this was seen as so bad that I think that influenced their decision to bind it over, to be honest, because of the double murder and the nature of it and the craziness of it, apparently. Again, you can search the records. You're not going to see that there was a fulsome offering or proffer on this issue. And I think that's something for ineffective counsel. Now, I also don't know that she's ever going to get the chance. At the state level, they're not going to have oral arguments on this unless the court asks for it. And I don't know why this would, because they already rejected the appeal. This is the reconsideration of their. Let me turn this on because I need it for the charger. Sorry. This is the reconsideration of the appeal that they already rejected. And that is pretty rare remedy in Ohio law. Not a lot of people get reconsideration. And I don't think there's something in this that would afford it if they're not going to get past that jurisdictional issue about the timing within that statute. So that would then exhaust all of her remedies at the state level and then create a situation of where this will be done at the federal level. And I do think that's a possibility. I do think a habeas motion is a possibility. Let me answer a couple of questions.
Okay. He thinks habeas could be a possibility. Interesting. Yeah, just as I am. I mean, we don't really even know because they like misplaced one of her blood samples. Definitely not taking her word for it. Whose? Kenzie's? There's absolutely no way 12 jurors are going to agree on this one. Yeah, I don't think so.
Then I got to get out of here. Given her bad behavior since she's been behind bars, I don't think any judge is going to give her a chance. It's irrelevant to what we're talking about.
I see your comment, Melissa. I work with students with DMDD. When I heard that, a light bulb went off. They don't think about their actions before they face consequences. Yeah, it's pretty serious.
That's a different case. Where she belongs, getting you nails and hair. Well, she's in a real prison. She's going to be in a real prison. And, it's interesting. I'm not surprised that you guys see these things the way you do, because true crime really does cater to a lot of how you feel about the case. What I want to offer you guys in this space, I'll tell you how I feel about things. I just don't often think that that's what should be driving the narrative. I think it should be about the process and why it goes the way it does. It's what I call the fatal flaw effect in criminology or in trial practice, which is I believe every trial really comes down to a single dynamic that makes the difference between whether or not the prosecution or the defense prevails. I think that there's a fatal flaw in every situation. Either the prosecution makes it or it's a fatal flaw in how the perpetrator carried out the crime that winds up being evinced or exposed at trial, and that's why they get hooked. Okay, so, hey, how you doing? Sorry I didn't have more mention, but we'll post this also, okay?
Okay, Angry Killjoy says, I think she has a good shot at habeas and is guaranteed a hearing if it is filed in time. Okay, interesting. Hello, Brandon Timmons. Christine says, if you look at their text from 2020, Dom was an a-hole to her and he was mean, suicidal, and he rage baited her constantly. Kenzie was not like that. She just wanted to spend her time with him. She was a little obsessed with him, right? But again, that could stem from, I said this before, I think they were, at some point, they were both each other's safe point. You know what I mean? Safety place. But shouldn't it be based on facts? Yes, it should be based on facts. Then as time went on over the years, it's like she turned and started giving it back to Dom because she was like, screw it, he's a jerk to me, so whatever. We do see that change, yes. She was a bit of a Klingon, very obsessed and very clingy. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah, Cuomo's face.
Her lawyer sucked, but do you want her on the streets? Again, due process. Okay.
Yeah, it's not about whether he wants her on the streets or not. Due process.
The administration of justice has to be fair. And look, sometimes that's abused. That the mother who just went on trial, ER nurse, clear postpartum, being treated for it, being medicated, says it's getting worse, hearing voices. She strangles all three of her kids. 5, 3, and I think 8 months old. Fucking
We are covering this case too, Lindsay Clancy.
horrible. And then she jumps out the window, tries to kill herself, paralyzes herself. She's going on trial because the prosecutors believe she meant to do it. She's clearly insane. Their argument is, oh, really? You want her out on the streets? Who's saying she's going to be on the streets? She should be in a mental hospital.
Oh,
right? I mean, we like to punish. We like to punish. We like.
Chris Cuomo says she should be in a mental hospital. Yeah, we do like to punish. For sure.
She should be in a mental hospital, right? I mean, we like to punish.
I said that, boo-boo. I said that they were each other's safe place. Trauma bonding. It's a real thing. That was perfect. They both ran to each other. Yeah.
We like to punish. We like to punish. We think that's justice. Justice is fairness under law. Justice isn't punishment. Justice means fairness under law. That's what it means. Is it fair that someone who is clearly mentally ill, and I don't even know how you can say that she could form the intent. I can't believe they think she's competent to stand trial. And guess who believes me or agrees with me? Her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's
what
talking
is
about
this case
Lindsay
about?
Clancy.
Who are you really doing it for? You see what I'm saying? So the idea of, well, she shouldn't just be on the street. Killers should be punished, though. Yeah, she is going to be punished. I'm not saying Mackenzie Shirilla shouldn't be punished. I'm saying if there is a better explanation for what happened that night than the one that was offered up, shouldn't the system have tested it? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yes, being spoiled and unlikable is not reason to throw someone in jail. Yeah,
I'm just saying, don't be judging me on my old text messages, okay? If I ever commit a crime. Because listen, they're wild as hell. You don't want to hear about my messages or see my photos or messages. Mwahaha. What's weird to me about Clancy is that her husband divorced her ass, went and started a whole new family. He's actually, yeah, we just did a live on Clancy, but I was going to bring this up because, now I'm starting to have an idea. Was he, like, how did he get into a relationship that fast? I guess it's not that fast, but I mean, she hasn't even gone to trial. I don't know. He has the right to move on. I'm not saying he doesn't. But how did Patrick Clancy happen to get in a relationship and get married, or whatever, if he's married, when his wife is on trial for murdering their 3 babies or going to trial? But I mean, I guess I'm happy for him. I don't know him personally, so it's not like it matters. There's a difference between judging and recognizing patterns of behavior. Absolutely. You can hear her personality and her jail calls and her text. She's awful. Okay, but it's not like the calls were from yesterday. They're from 4 years ago. I'm thinking of fair. It's sus. ATS is right. People do weird things in grief. I don't blame him. I'm not saying that he should be, all depressed and shit for the rest of his life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, he seems like he would be afraid if there was an intruder. Oh my God, I was thinking the same thing about Patrick. Yeah. I was probably selfish, POS, and cocky till I was about 20, honestly. Yeah, me till like about a couple years ago, respectfully. I'd say like I calmed down a lot within the last 8 years, but I did also do a lot of therapy, a lot of like, mental health care during those 8 years. And I'm very proud. Thank you very much. During those calls, she was just kind of going through a lot. Yeah, I mean, those calls are nasty. Like, let's not lie. But then again, I kind of agree with Chris Cuomo here. I'm going to go back here on our guy. I really like him.
She is going to be punished. I'm not saying Mackenzie Shirilla shouldn't be punished. I'm saying if there is a better explanation for what happened that night than the one that was offered up, shouldn't the system have tested it? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Yes, being spoiled and unlikable is not reason to throw someone in jail. Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, most of you would be in jail.
Oh my God, I need to clip that. I seriously freaking love him. He is like absolutely right. Most of us would be. Not Chris Cuomo calling us all out right now on YouTube. Yo, I'm obsessed with him. Spam him in the comments. Tell him to come over here. But in her mind, she'd be acting that way. He's like, all you guys would be in the freaking pin. But in her mind, she might be acting that way because she didn't do it on purpose, and they loved her then snap, they hated her. Yeah. Okay, let's continue because this is great.
Spoiled and unlikable is not reason to throw someone in jail. Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, most of you would be in jail. That's what a Gen Xer says, right? Narcissistic rage.
He's like totally serious.
That's not a thing in the law. See, that's another thing that happens in these true crime spaces. And by the way, I'm not a hater. Okay, I love true crime. I love it. I've always loved it. I've always loved covering crime. Why? Oh, well, the first reason is they are designed for storytelling. They're always really good, well-developed, competing stories if you get to the point of a trial. Because remember, most investigations don't go to trial. Most prosecutions don't go to trial. People cut deals. Why?
And I like he's not just talking out of his ass, like he actually is an attorney, you know? So, oh, Kate said he is a total package, body and brains. Barbie says, Chris clocking my shit was not on my bingo card, not on mine either, but listen, he can clock it anytime. Respectfully. Clock it. Yeah, for sure.
Various reasons. Sometimes good, sometimes not good. Most of the time good. No, this isn't a one-off. I have Cuomo Crime Time on YouTube. You can go there and subscribe right now. Hopefully everybody who's watching the live, it's because you subscribe. But if you don't, please go subscribe. And I'm doing longer episodes. Our watch time is very high. The guys who are working on the podcast are happy about that. And I'm happy about it because it's a lot of fucking work. But my point is this. I love true crime. I love that there's built-in competing narratives. I also love something else about it that made me start the podcast. I believe that true crime may be the last space where we're really dealing with each other on equal footing, where you're not a Republican, I'm not an independent or a Democrat or a MAGA or whatever you want to call it these days, DSA, that we don't see each other and disqualify each other as human beings on the basis of affiliation. We all come at these the same way, and we have different feelings and different values and, different opinions about cases, but we're all there for the right reason. We're all there to see justice be done. And we all want the system to work. And we know it's imperfect. We know it doesn't work all the time. And we know it doesn't work well enough. I would argue it works better than just about anywhere else in the world. I'm open to that discussion also. But
okay,
more perfect union, right? We're trying to get things better here. And I think that this case wasn't handled right by her lawyer. I do. And that doesn't mean that I think she's not guilty. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think it was a fair trial.
Thank you. Those people that were hating on me, apology accepted. Even though you haven't provided it, but respectfully. Yeah, her frontal lobe still is not developed. I feel like he's gonna poke me with his glasses. Hello, mothership. Glad to see you. Yeah, I know, Jerry. So sad. But it's okay.
Because of him. And I think that she should make that case. Does anyone know if the police? No, she was in the hospital. And I don't think that they were able to get to her. And I don't think she even knew anything for a while afterwards. So the idea that she gave different answers immediately after and then changed them is irrelevant because she wasn't compos mentis.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Why is he so smart?
Mentis.
Is he drinking kombucha?
Because of him. And I think that she should make that case. Does anyone know if the police? No, she was in the hospital. And I don't think that they were able to get to her. And I don't think she even knew anything for a while afterwards. So the idea that she gave different answers immediately after and then changed them is irrelevant because she wasn't compos mentis. Right and wrong gets really complicated really fast in the law.
So true.
What she did was wrong all day long, if you assume that she meant to do what happened. Okay?
You know what? I actually learned something about the whole modeling thing. Like, we all thought she was going to be like the next Victoria's Secret. That's not even what it was. I actually talked to someone who works for the company that Kenzie and her mom were commenting on. And this was on TT, and I was on panel with her, and was I on panel with her? Or was in chat? I can't remember, but she said, was it here? Maybe it was here. Can't remember. One of the, I thought it was on TikTok. But she said, you know, she works for she used to work for or works for the company that Kenzie was commenting on. And she's like, that's not like a real modeling thing. And I'm like, oh. She's like, yeah. So when I haven't been watching, but I guess Big Sister Unhinged said something about her being a model. And I'm like, and so she was like, it's not like a model, it's just like a little like promo agency thing. Like, it wasn't like a real modeling company. She's like, didn't you know? And I was like, oh, okay. That's good to know, right? To speak to someone that actually was involved with the company. So I guess for those of us that, you know, said she was going to be a big time model and she was like really out here trying to be a model, like, it's actually not really true. It's just like some promo online on Instagram. So yeah, she shouldn't have been doing it in the hospital, right? But Kenzie was obsessed with that kind of stuff and social media and TikToks and being a nail model and shit. I'm the nail model. Cute. Peep him. Oh yeah, baby. So there's that.
If she did not mean to do what happened, why? Oh, there's another thing. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you, Mothership. It was Vitali. They wanted to use a picture. Yeah, she wasn't like getting ready to be on Vogue. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, like, she really wasn't. She was just she just wanted to have her pictures reposted and posted.
Other thing that I think could be ineffective counsel. In what universe do you not argue diminished capacity? Now, I know why the prosecution is not going to argue diminished capacity. They want to go for the intent crime. They want to go for the high value crime. But why didn't Mackenzie Shirilla's lawyer argue diminished capacity? We know she had really high levels of THC in her system. That counts. I know a lot of you guys think that, you know, because it doesn't show when you blow yet, that you can, you know, that being high isn't a big thing. Wrong. But why didn't they argue that? You tell me. Why didn't they argue diminished capacity? Why? Seriously, I don't understand. And I haven't been able to speak to the lawyer, and the parents are useless on this because they were witnesses and they weren't paying attention. And I think they were emotionally overwhelmed and they did not own the legal strategy. And Shirilla's, you know, a kid, you know, she doesn't know. She was just a spoiled kid. Again, the spoiled thing, it's like, that's not what I'm talking about. And look, I don't care. Okay, fine. She was spoiled. She had bad parenting. She was a wild kid. She's a narcissist. Whatever you want to say. That doesn't change anything for me.
Oh, wow. He's facts. Spot on here. Two things can be true at once.
For me. Do you know how many lawyers, people...
I want to hear that again.
But why didn't Mackenzie Shirilla's lawyer argue diminished capacity? We know she had really high levels of THC in her system. That counts. I know a lot of you guys think that, you know, because it doesn't show when you blow yet, that you can, you know, that being high isn't a big thing. Wrong. But why didn't they argue that? You tell me. Why didn't they argue diminished capacity? Why? Seriously, I don't understand. And I haven't been able to speak to the lawyer, and the parents are useless on this because they were witnesses and they weren't paying attention. And I think they were emotionally overwhelmed and they did not own the legal strategy. And Shirilla's, you know, a kid, you know, she doesn't know. She was just a spoiled kid. Again, the spoiled thing, it's like, that's not what I'm talking about. And look, I don't care. Okay, fine. She was spoiled. She had bad parenting. She was a wild kid. She's a narcissist. Whatever you want to say. That doesn't change anything for me. Do you know how many lawyers, people I care about, represent absolute scumbags that did horrible things? Why? Because the system has to work. You've got to have due process. They are the two most important words in our democracy. Think about it. It covers everything. You could say, no, free speech. Due process encompasses free speech. Why? Because it's an expansion of the idea that you get a fair shake. You get a fair say. See what I'm saying? Look, again, the idea that she is a threat to others, she's never had any kind of problem. Oh, she had problems in school. That doesn't work for me. A couple more and then I have to go.
Okay.
I found the call with Mackenzie and Natalie where Mackenzie admits to asking if she could say it was a seizure in carny talk. Oh, yeah. How weird is that? That weird language thing that they have.
But she didn't say that. She said community service.
Isn't that weird? I'd never heard of that before, by the way. That was really weird. Now, look, I heard her in the documentary on Netflix look off and say, hey, did I hit everything right? To her lawyer, did I get it right? I want to hit everything. Look, she's a kid. And yes, she is trying to architect an image of her that is helpful. I've never seen anybody do it that way because she had to know that they were going to air it. And it makes her look terrible. But again, it doesn't matter for me how I feel about her personally. It's about whether or not I think that the process worked the right way. What's this? Behavior aside, her trial was based on the accident.
I still haven't learned the carny talk, but I want to.
What's this? Behavior aside, her trial was based on the accident. Her counsel was lacking, and if there's evidence of POTS.
Yeah, I don't know facts versus feelings. Seriously, what was the actual defense strategy? Does anyone know? No, I do not know. Well, she lost everything, so maybe the modeling was something to hold on to. That was a piece of normalcy. Okay, good observation, Janie. Yeah. Thank you, Chris and Ellie. Glad to see you both keeping it real, not just saying what most of the people want to hear. Yeah, listen. We've been going through it. But I'm glad I'm not the only one. So I guess if you're gonna hate one, you can hate us both. Chris Cuomo and I are a team together. Just kidding. I wish. You need to learn it, Melly. Yeah, I do. Yeah, when I heard that statement again, it didn't sound like seizure. No, I actually have a clip on TikTok from about it. So I'll try to pull it up.
It still doesn't fit. I don't know that it still doesn't fit. I don't know that that's true. And I don't know that her boyfriend was an abused partner.
Okay, so we need to get Chris Cuomo. Yeah. He needs to read everything. Her lawyer said, did he even have a strategy? No, I don't think so. She confirmed it in one of the calls with her mom, Melly. What? Confirmed what? Just because her parents didn't know how to pick a lawyer doesn't mean that they did the right thing. Does that make sense? Like, obviously they didn't do the right thing. Obviously they had a choice. Yeah, we get it. Okay. Not everybody knows how to go up against the legal system like that. Took me a long time. Took me a couple lawyers to learn that. It was very difficult.
It's not her hormones. POTS.
Let alone someone to trust and, you know, to handle your cases, and you're paying them lots of money. And they got recommended to that attorney by someone, allegedly. Not so good.
It's not her hormones. POTS is not about hormones. Men do have hormone issues. And did you know women can have testosterone issues? All right, I got to go. I hope this was helpful. I don't think that she's going to win reconsideration because the court has said before something that hasn't changed, which is the legislature ties our hands on how this is counted. You screwed up. That's not our problem. And the legislature didn't allow a remedy for it. So I think that's it at the state level, which then opens up habeas. And I think the Sixth Amendment thing here could have some legs. I do think we see more here. Thank you for subscribing.
Wait, what did he say about hormones?
Men do have hormone issues. And did you know women can have testosterone issues? All right, I got to go. I hope this was helpful. I don't think that she's going to win reconsideration because the court has said before something that hasn't changed, which is the legislature ties our hands on how this is counted. You screwed up. That's not our problem. And the legislature didn't allow a remedy for it. So I think that's it at the state level, which then opens up habeas. And I think the Sixth Amendment thing here could have some legs. I do think we see more here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Fix America First is gear that I sell, free agent gear. Why? Because I'm trying to brand back against this partisan bullshit. These parties are killing us. I know they are. And it's not new knowledge, okay? This is what Washington said. This was the big division in the first administration ever in our history, was Jefferson and Hamilton starting competing parties. The parties are poisonous. They allow the few to dominate the many. I want a brand that you're an independent, that you're a free agent, that you're different, that you're a critical thinker. Fix America First is an extension of that. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now. Not getting involved in Cuba, right? Look how it's going in Iran. Anyway. That's what this is. You can get it on my social media if you want to buy the stuff. I use the money and we give it to people who need it. And then I tell you about it so you can feel good that it was kind of a crowdsourced contribution. Like who? Like the dad I met at a town hall who was an air traffic controller, but he had to...
I love how he went from true crime to politics real quick.
Drive Uber or DoorDash or some shit like that to help his daughter go through school because of the shutdown. So I gave him 10 grand. And I've given 10 grand to multiple other people also.
Does he want to give me 10 grand?
And then I tell you about it. All right. I do love true crime. That's why please go and subscribe to.
Yes. Cuomo Crime Time. Chat is in heat. Facts. Okay, there's another one. I don't really love his guest. Respectfully, but I guess I'm willing to watch it and be open-minded here. This is about the shocking verdict. It's 13 minutes long. We're gonna watch them all. Yeah.
Because a judge determined in a bench trial, Mackenzie Shirilla was found guilty because a judge determined in a bench trial that she, beyond a reasonable doubt and in very little amount of deliberation time, she intended to drive at 100 miles an hour into a sign, through an intersection, into a school. Which,
whatever his name is, I can't remember. But he's, married to that lady from that TC channel. Respectfully, no thank you. This is pathetic. Really? Is it? Oh no. I agree. Sides are never good. Both have good cause. No, I don't. Oh yeah, Matthias. John Matthias. Yes, thank you. Oh no. Well, now we gotta watch it.
Means Mackenzie Shirilla had the intent to kill everyone in the car, which means Mackenzie Shirilla had the intent to kill herself. My problem is I totally understand the evidence in the trial. I understand the data. I understand that there is no data that suggests she did anything to stop the rate of acceleration. And I get what that suggests. I also get what it suggests about her attorney that thought a bench trial was the right way to go. But, and I know the context of the text messages, which I find unconvincing. And I don't understand how you see the intent to kill herself when the woman does not seem suicidal before or after. And I don't know what to make of that. I'm not saying she's not criminally responsible. Of course she is. She did it. But when you look at Mackenzie Shirilla, the idea that she is what true crime says she is, which is a bad person who was a psycho who wanted to kill everybody in the car, does she seem suicidal to you?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. It's
the only kind I ask, Doc. Only kind I ask.
It seems to me. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not used to that. It seems to me that looking at the impact on the wall, it seems to me that she veered to the left, so that the driver's side wasn't impacted as much, even though she never put on the brake.
That is the stupidest thing I've heard. Like, I never even believed that. Like, that she veered. No.
They didn't talk about this in the documentary.
How much does this 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆 guy know about this case? Respectfully.
You could see clearly that the impact was on the passenger side of the car.
The prosecutors believe that it was the adjustment after the sign, and that she may not even been conscious after hitting the sign. That sign was a real sign. So that the car may have turned, but not because she turned it, certainly in their estimation, because it would have been a last clear chance argument for her.
Why does he think he's a crash analyst? Thank you. I'm dying. That's the stupidest thing I heard. Yeah. How much does he know about humans, Melly? Respectfully. Listen, I'm not a fan. Okay. I'm not going to call him if I need to see, is he a psychologist or claims to be a psychologist? I don't know. Fill me in real quick. It's been a while since I done, I do have a Lauren Matthias playlist, from a while ago. Dr. John knows even less about physics than the crimes he covers. Why crime? Yeah, I remember.
Defense attorney, which he did not make. And they say that the slipper being stuck under the thing wasn't that it was stuck before, but that once it struck the sign, that was as likely as anything else. But let's say she did turn to the left. Does that mean that she only had homicidal intention, not suicidal? Is it reasonable to believe that someone can drive at 100 miles an hour through a sign and then decide, I don't want to die, but never touch the brake?
I think you'd have to say that there were some suicidal intentions, because if you're going to drive your car 100 miles per hour into a brick wall, you're going to have to accept some risk that that's going to harm you. So there has to be some suicidal thought or intent. But does she really want to kill herself? That's debatable. I think she appears to me to be more homicidal than suicidal. But again, if you decide to drive your, car, even if it's a Tesla and it's going to drive for you, into a brick wall, there's a good chance that you're going to get hurt.
How often is it that someone who is suicidal before something like this does nothing to try to hurt themselves after something like this, when there's been such a horrible consequence from the event? Like, what's the chance that it gets, that it doesn't manifest itself? So you wanted to kill yourself in the moment, and then after killing your boyfriend, who you supposedly loved, and one of your best friends.
He hasn't even evaluated her, and I'm pretty sure that they've never covered this until the documentary came out. Am I wrong or am I right? I've never seen them cover it. I'm not subscribed, so I wouldn't know everything they post. But I'm pretty sure, or did they cover it from before? She lived her life too much, and she was very young and immature. Agreed. He doesn't even know what to say. Yeah, exactly, mothership. How can he, without evaluating her, how can he make that statement? I agree.
Screwing yourself up, that you don't want to hurt yourself anymore, and you never try to hurt yourself, and you never speak to it, you never make any claims like that. Isn't that rare?
It's peculiar. Wasn't she placed on suicide watch for a bit?
she was when they were trying to figure out how she felt about what had happened, but it wasn't like, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself. As far as we know, and her parents say, no, she's never been suicidal a day. By the way, if I'm them.
Yeah, right. Like it could have been, she could have been pretending. She could have wanted that life, Steffi. That's true. Also, remember her always not feeling good at all? Like we talked about this in the text messages. She was never feeling physically well. They also did bring the facts versus failing says they also did bring in the 911 report where she threatened ending her life at trial. Chris must not realize that. She didn't at trial, or you mean like in the hospital? She did. She was going through it when it was Dom's funeral, or I think it was the funeral or some kind of event. She did. She was having a panic attack. She wanted to go there and be there. And the police were involved at the hospital, if that's what you're referring to. But I'm not sure. That's a fact. She could have been in the moment and regretted it after. That's a tough one. If the airbags deployed, she couldn't have seen Tavir. Exactly.
I don't say that for what it's worth. Second, when you look at Mackenzie Shirilla, I don't remember anything that happened that night. Does that happen? Yes, especially with head trauma. Does it happen a lot? No. What do you make of that?
Well, as someone who hasn't met her and assessed her, or done any testing with her, it's really hard to assess that. But I mean, my instincts tell me that she's malingering. I don't think she knows what happened.
But then why wouldn't she make up a story? Because she could have said, oh, I remember. Dom grabbed the wheel, or Dom pushed my face, or Dom.
Or, this and this was going on and this happened. Like she really could have made up any of these things that Chris Cuomo was saying. It's actually kind of freaky.
Wheel, or Dom pushed my face, or Dom was high and said, let's have some fun. My friend told me, let's see how fast this goes. She could have made up something. Or she could have said, I had a pot seizure.
But why go there? If she puts a story in play, it's going to be subjected to scrutiny.
But if she can't explain away the data, she's going to get convicted. She had to know. Everybody knew she did it, and it looked really bad. This clip was sponsored by Morgan and
the car went airborne too. Let's not forget that. There was airbags deploying, all kinds of shit going on before she actually hit the building, crashed into the building. I said that too. She could have lied, but she doesn't remember, which made it worse for her. Pretty sure she really can't remember. Thank you, Michelle. This is a great channel. Melly does a great job. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Back. The only explanation that would beat the data, which says you did nothing but accelerate and hold the wheel straight. So, and because the theory is she's a manipulative liar. So if she's a manipulative liar who's capable of wanting to hurt people, even kill them, why wouldn't she make up a story to get herself out of it? She clearly didn't want to go to prison.
I think like Taylor Parker, no one has ever held her accountable. No one's ever challenged her.
Can someone tell Dr. Johnny Boy over here, like, oh, dude, we already know. Okay, we spent a year shitting on the Shirillas. And then I apologized, and then everybody said I was trash for apologizing and trying to be a good human. Yeah, okay. That's real cool. Making a story up leaves it open to getting caught lying. They can use that as consciousness of guilt. That makes it an accident, not intentional, says Boo Boo. Yeah. The building is huge. The airbags went off when the car went airborne as it crashes or sign. At that point, she would hit the building no matter what way the wheel was turned. Exactly. It was too fast. And it was, the car went, what was it? Airborne? Is that what they call it? New documentary, Shitting on the Shillas. Yeah, we can talk about that too, because this is going to be a members only anyways. So we can talk about it if you guys want to talk about it.
So I think she believed, or maybe someone advised her to do this, but she thought that by saying that she had amnesia during that moment, that
I truly don't.
or blacked out, that was the easiest way to go. Why spin some stories that can be, again, why spin some stories that can be scrutinized or can be challenged in court? The simplest way to go for her, because she thinks like Taylor Parker, that no one's going to challenge her, no one's going to hold her accountable, and her parents never did that. Her parents still haven't done that. Her parents are on this crusade to get her, to free her, or that she's innocent. And so it seems
so now he's best friends with Taylor Parker.
like in that set of circumstances, perhaps the best way to go is just to deny everything, just to have a blackout.
And psychologically, what does that do for you?
What? This is why I don't watch him.
It allows you to believe what you want to believe. It allows her to, she knows what happened probably. I mean, I don't know for sure. I mean, is it possible that the trauma of the situation created some type of amnesia or dissociation? Sure.
I know the case with Taylor Parker and this one isn't even the same. I don't even know why he's comparing. Like, that crazy ass lady legit cut a baby out of a woman's uterus. That is different in my eyes. Christine says Kenzie is not that calculated, respectfully. What is the reason for her wanting to kill Davion? What is the reason? Like, there is no good reason. Why would she want to kill Davion? I really used to think that, okay, she was just being like a dumb bee, but now I'm just like, no, be for real. She had just said she was getting close to Davion. Or in one of the interviews, someone said that. I know, I feel like we hardly ever talk about Davion, but we should talk more about Davion. R.I.P. Davion and Dumb.
That's possible.
Watching the documentary, reading what you have, how do you size her up? What does she fit into? Another very, very rare crime, because it wasn't like drunk driving, end of a night of partying, went too fast, shouldn't have driven. I can't believe this happened. This is not described that way. This is described as an intentional homicide. They did not want to give her manslaughter, which I thought it should have been. I was actually a little surprised she got bound over, to be honest. She was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
This could have easily been an accident, especially with the level of THC that was in her system. And the attorney did not argue diminished capacity, which I thought was weird also.
This is a type of domestic violence.
Really?
This is a case of sort of Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet meets Othello meets like the Fast and the Furious. Something like that.
Othello.
Barbie says, if this guy has the doctorate, I am the president. That is way too funny.
Oh, because the guy in the back was black?
No, Othello, because Othello wants to possess Desdemona.
I know.
Romeo and Juliet, because young stupid love, right? Like, I mean, this is the case of, I think, of her basically saying, if I can't have him, no one will. He has this intent to leave, and so you have possessiveness.
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. They both threaten to leave each other all the freaking time. Every other day, they were fighting. One was breaking up with the other one was throwing a fit. I mean, let's be so
have
real.
This young, naive love that she doesn't want to lose. And then, I haven't watched a lot of the Fast and Furious movies, but some version of driving out of control, I guess. So, right, if you combine those elements, so domestic violence in the sense that she's possessive. And what makes it unusual is the fact that most cases of domestic violence homicide are driven by men and or teenage males.
Now, she would argue you're right, and it was him who grabbed the wheel There are other text messages that show he was the one, not in the incident that killed him, but this incident that, oh, I was capable of this because I threatened to do it before. No, no, no. He was threatening to do it to me in that incident in the road where the friend showed up and I was on the.
Y'all already know how I feel about Hench in that whole situation. I'm not going to beat a dead horse every single time. You guys already know I don't think he's credible. I don't think he's legit. I don't believe him. Had a toxic boyfriend that crashed a car, but not because of revenge, bad driving, and being dumb. Okay, what's her name? 𝗟𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 Georgia. I think it's Georgia. Was it Georgia? Let me look up. 𝗟𝗃𝗵𝗶𝗽 got in the car and she told her boyfriend, she was like, I'm going, like, this is going to be the last thing you remember. She basically threatened him. And then she drove her car into a tree. Her boyfriend was Daniel Waterman. Where is it out of? Yeah, I think it's Ohio. Oh, I mean, Georgia. Oh, no, it was Florida. My bad. Oh, geez. Florida. Courtney Clenny's out of Florida too. But yeah, see, that was like proof. There was proof of that. This case is much more similar to people trying to make it really just have to answer what's going to shoot out purposely. Right. Yeah, I remember her. Exactly.
Text thread with his mother. He was threatening it to me. I wasn't threatening it to him. Does that change it in the context that she never did anything to hurt him before this, as far as we know?
Well, there's video. You saw the documentary. There's videos of her.
Video of what? Fighting? Is there a video of her beating the shit out of him physically? No. Dr. 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆. So don't even say that.
Absolutely losing it. Being controlling and yelling, and those are not good signs. I mean, I suppose every relationship.
Dream, that's your problem, is that the text messages don't define the entire relationship. That's just one part of it. Yeah, we've honed in on them. Yeah, they're gross. Yeah, they're both very toxic and very abusive and very gross. But it's like, that doesn't define the whole relationship. There's a lot that we don't know.
Relationship has conflict, but threatening someone is probably a little beyond conflict. And as far as those texts go, the context of that it was confusing in the documentary because the context of all that was not clear. It seemed to me like some of that.
She really had any opportunity to ruin Dom's life. Like, she threatened him all the time. She really could have. And vice versa. He could have called the cops on her too. But he had a business that could have created a lot of problems for him. And we're all aware of that. And she never did. She threatened it all the time, which is not right. I'm not saying it is.
Was taken out of context.
Yes, in his favor, or in favor of damning her. And then at the end, probably to cover themselves from a litigation perspective, they say, "Hey, there's new evidence. There are more texts, and it didn't go down that way. It went down this way." Well, even still, domestic violence. But how often does someone who wants to hurt somebody else do something that is so potentially damaging to them?
It's not murder. Suicide is not that uncommon. I mean, it's a little less common than homicide for sure. But when you get to the point where you're going to murder someone else, murdering yourself or committing suicide comes into play for sure, because you're not rational in that moment. Self-harm becomes an option during a lot of those scenarios. And especially in cases, most murder-suicides are, again, they're domestic violence related cases. And if you see this as that type of crime, which I do, then it becomes more likely.
Hey, thank you for watching. I post clips like this.
That's true, Peach. Peach says we cannot diagnose Kenzie. You're right. You can't. Neither can 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆. So many ways she could have done things to him and never did. Yeah. I did want to go through some pictures that I just am going through, because I'm re-going through everything again. Re-going through, is that correct? I'm going through a lot of things again on the back end that I'm slowly going to be sharing. I did find these pictures though when Dom was arrested, and I have a police report I want to read to you guys. But he was in 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 jail for, I think, a domestic violence issue, allegedly. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I hadn't seen these. I mean, I've seen them, but I didn't have them. Well, I always had them. I guess I just had them in a different folder. I want to say Plunder probably posted these, but I don't remember. Did you guys already see them? No, these are not AI. These are actually from a FOIA. These are actually, yes, they're real. These are from the FOIA, like directly from it. Yeah, Plunder has this. I've seen it on hers. She's posted the folder that has it in there too. I had never seen them. Who's a female reflection? Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh. I think it's his mom. Yeah, I think it's his mom. Looks like her. Yeah, it looks like his mom, I think. And I'm pretty sure it is because in the text messages, it shows, I think they talk about it. Yeah, I think it was his mom. Yeah, because Kenzie says, oh, can you send me the pictures? I remember now. Let me see what else I wanted to show. I know we have one more Cuomo video. We could read the police report. I don't know that we're going to get through. We could watch the next interview and then maybe read some text read a police report, and then we'll maybe read some text with Mama Russo. We haven't visited those in a while, but let me pull up. I do have 3 reports that I do want to share with, hold on, sorry. Yeah, those pictures are in the Christine Russo part of the file, his mom. They're in that FOIA folder. So someone wants to know where I got those from. Okay, let's watch this next one and I'll pull up what I'm going to read next. Why does Chris Cuomo keep doing a video with 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 It might be just a clip from another video. That's wild. She was allowed to do that. Yeah, I don't understand that. There's no way a phone is allowed in visiting. Well, she was the one who kept one phone from going on the record. Only certain people can visit inmates. Yeah, it's his mom. Because I remembered the text message where Kenzie says, like, oh, thank you for the pictures. They need to retract her statement because she lied. I have said that before. Not that it's anything personal. I just think that, yeah, there was that police interview was very shady. Is this before he knew Kenzie? No, it was during when he knew. It was while he was with Kenzie when he was arrested. I'm sure he was in county jail and you can usually bring your phone in at visit. Really? They have to have all your info and have to be approved at the facility. And for prisons, they do a full background check. Oh yeah, that was just at county jail. So, okay, let's watch this last video. It's not very long. And then we'll get to a police report. This one is 10:50, 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
And she sits down with done up hair and makeup and says to the lawyer off camera, did I hit all the right points? Because I really want to nail that. Is that just being young and dumb, or does it suggest something to you?
Well, she's obviously sticking to a script. I think she's trying to curate a certain image of herself.
Oh Lord.
She's playing to the Netflix audience, or she's playing to the public. She's trying to appealing to their sympathy and trying to make her case publicly, for sure.
The way they
She doesn't look good.
No, she doesn't. The way they paint her after the incident, moving on with her life, trying to do something with Instagram, having girlfriends on the inside, Is all of that instructive, or is it just what happens, especially with a young person?
Well, there's another parallel here with Taylor Parker in that she hasn't done well
Dude.
behind bars. She hasn't done well while being incarcerated. She keeps acting.
Like, what are you talking about Taylor Parker for? Are you obsessed? Like, we're talking about 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 here. What's going on here? Can someone ask 𝗠𝗲𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 if he's good? Like, are you good, bro? I'm rewinding because he's confusing me.
Well, there's another parallel here with Taylor Parker in that she hasn't done well behind bars. She hasn't done well while being incarcerated. She keeps acting out as well. I'm not sure. I'm not totally current on that, but but that suggests deeper pathology potentially, that she's, if you're acting out, if you're sentenced, right, if a normal person is sentenced to prison for homicide or any type of violence, typically the typical response is that you learn from that and you adjust your behavior accordingly. You don't start acting out and going on this rampage.
What is the line between a parent trying to save their kid because it's their kid and a parent who is why their kid was in the problem in the first place? And where do you think Mackenzie's parents fall based on what you've seen?
They definitely seem to be fairly lax. They seem to be quite capable of enabling her. They don't seem to set very good limits. And again, that's another parallel with Taylor Parker, I think.
Now, that's fairly common as a mediocre parent myself, where when they said, look, we could tell her don't smoke weed. I took the door off her room. I grounded her. I had her here. She's 17, 18. You know, what am I going to do? Every time she leaves the house, what am I going to never let her leave the house? I hear that, but it also is assuming that the marijuana was everything. And I don't mean not other drugs. I mean, in terms of behaviors, I think the marijuana was the least of it. You know, I don't think smoking weed makes you violent, you know, or give you delusions of wanting to hurt anybody, you know?
Well, if you get into some type of cannabis psychosis, maybe, but yeah, that's rare. So if you're smoking a lot of weed.
She was smoking a lot of weed. And again, we know she was smoking a lot of weed that night. We know it was in her system in really high amounts. And the only reason I'm puzzled by it as an attorney is I know that you had a lot of THC in your system. We all know that it can affect your judgment. And they screwed up the sample at the hospital. So I can pretty much argue it any way I want because they screwed it up. So they didn't really get to test it in a way where they're going to be able to mess with my reckoning of how big it was a factor. And they don't even argue it. But with the parents, what is that line? So you say enabling. How are we supposed to understand it in the context of young love? They were always together. They fought a lot, but they were never separated in any real way. They were together all through high school.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you creatively. They were beautiful young men that didn't deserve to die, and punishing 𝗠𝗲𝗃 like that won't bring them back. It was reckless, not intentional from facts, says creatively. Yeah, and like the hate train on her, like it's kind of getting old. Not diagnosing, but a lot of people suspect she has borderline personality disorder. Study shows the weed actually relaxes those individuals. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Just from like opinions. Do we know that she was smoking that night? We've heard she wasn't from everybody there. Yeah. Who's his wife? Oh, that lady. Law and crime lady.
He was now out of school and they were still together. They were living in the same place. They were all very close and knew each other well. And you see that familiarity in his texts with her mother and her texts with their mother. I've never heard anything like that. Nobody involved with my kids, 23, 2016. Nobody talks to me the way she was talking to Dom's mother about how involved in their relationship she was, how involved her mother was in their relationship. So what does that speak to in terms of, because they weren't that hands off because she had a pretty good read on what was happening.
Ooh, let's go back. That's interesting what he said.
What does that speak to in terms of, because they weren't that hands off because she had a pretty good read on what was happening.
No, we're not saying that, facts versus feelings. We're not saying that we don't punish anyone. No one ever said that. We are holding her accountable. Mackenzie has even said she's not 100% innocent. Like, obviously, she was a driver in the car. She's obviously in prison. But, like, continuing to hate her, like, how will that help? She would text Miss Russo her concerns about Dom. She knew everything. Yeah. We don't know that.
Lots of family dysfunction.
Let me go back. I want to hear what he says about these.
What does that speak to in terms of, because they weren't that hands off because nobody involved with my kids, 23, 2016. Nobody talks to me the way she was talking to Dom's mother about how involved in their relationship she was, how involved her mother was in their relationship. So what does that speak to in terms of, because they weren't that hands off because she had a pretty good read on what was happening.
Lots of family dysfunction.
Yeah.
Poor boundaries. Poor communication, kind of all the things that go into, or at least not the right type of communication, or at least not healthy communication.
Right. Not all closeness is good closeness.
Right. Exactly.
This clip was sponsored by Morgan. It's needed to. If you mental health
Oh, here's John Matthias.
Spoiled kid, self-absorbed. Spoiled kid, self-absorbed kid, right? But I don't know. Yeah, I think most of those, but how much of that is being a teenager also? I think that's
No, the coolest jazz. We won't attack you. You're fine to have your opinion here. Coolest Jazz says, is it wrong for me to think this should have been vehicular homicide? I just think if it were intentional, it wasn't proven to be intentional. Please don't attack me. No, you're fine. You can have your own opinion. It's respectful.
where this is complicated. She's young. I think that's one of the reasons that she wasn't sentenced to more time, is because of her age, and the judge.
Well, they tried her as an adult, which was the big decision. I mean, this could have been tried as a juvenile, manslaughter, and a very different course. That was denied, and on the appeal, it was denied. So that means that they saw something in this case that played to what we call in the law scienter, which is malice aforethought.
Yeah.
And they did not want manslaughter. And that's why they didn't touch diminished capacity, because they wanted the full intent crime of homicide. Do you think that was the right call here? Not because they got the conviction, but from a psychological standpoint.
Yeah, the legal part I kind of leave to you guys. I kind of leave that to the judicial system. But I mean, not pushing the brake pedal has to be significant in terms of premeditation, I suppose. But I mean, you can make an argument for manslaughter.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with it.
Interesting.
Right. And that's my last question. What do you find interesting about this, that you took the time to examine it?
I think a lot of the issues we've talked about, it's just how unusual both of these cases are, and the similarities of both of these cases. There are so many similarities.
And then behavioral parts,
Mackenzie as a case of domestic violence, just how unusual it is for a female adolescent to be this possessive and this consumed by the possibility of violence, to go to that extra step of planning out this type of homicide, really unusual. As you point out, it's just highly unusual.
2 real vexing cases.
Yeah, for sure.
Dr. 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆, I love the way you think about these things. I love the struggle in your process of understanding what can seem a little inscrutable, what can break different ways. I think it's what makes this analysis, because we look at a Mackenzie Shirilla, seems like a lot of kids I know. You look at a Taylor Parker, seems like a lot of people I know. Yeah, but she lied a lot. Who doesn't? Yeah, but then they did this. And that's when they go from someone who's in the struggle like the rest of us to a monster. And the question is why? What made them in that moment? I appreciate you. I look forward to doing this again, Dr. Mathias.
Yeah,
Thank
I'd
you.
love to. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I finally have a chance to meet you.
Okay, we know you think he's cool, John. We got it.
I watched your shows during COVID when you had COVID and you were in lockdown in your basement. No, in your like lower level.
In my basement. Yep.
And this is before I got it, by the way. And I thought, holy crap, I better not get COVID. I don't know. If Chris is struggling like this, I'm doomed. So I got it. I'm okay. But anyway, thank you for the work you do. It's a pleasure meeting you. I appreciate what you do.
I appreciate it. I look forward to doing it again. Take care, Doc. Dr. John makes a lot of points. What's most interesting to me is what he struggles with to understand why it's gray. It's gray. And that's why we're so fascinated, because you never really know for sure, especially when they don't testify, especially when they don't have a story, especially when one of them says she doesn't even remember what happened. Amazing how people who size up like the people you know in your own life can be something that you would never imagine could be anywhere near you, let alone someone kind of like you or someone you know. Do you agree or not with what Dr. John and non-Dr. Chris had to say about Taylor Parker and Mackenzie Shirilla and their parents and the people around them and how they size up to one another?
It's like we're kind of, like in the David case, Colleen Burke, no, we can absolutely call her out because clearly she knew something, right? But I mean, do we know this for a fact? Well, we still have to wait and see what happens in trial and what information comes out, right? But it's like we freaking crucified the Shirillas, and that's why I got a lot of hate for admitting that, and I don't think that's cool. But please, Chris, don't bring John on anymore. Respectfully, we really like you. Barbie makes the rules in Barbie Land. Oh, what's going on? No, Dr. Chris LMA, quit playing with me. Yeah, right? Mackenzie's being groomed and possibly trafficked, and I hope she gets help in the form of a retrial, says Boo Boo. I'm actually perplexed by this case. It's like sometimes I think it's intentional and sometimes I'm not sure. Okay, well then there's your answer. I love that. He said it's highly unusual because it didn't happen the way they said. Exactly. Let's watch a couple TikToks and then we'll get into the police report I was wanting to read. I haven't really read it, but I do want to go over it. Involving Dom. Let's see. Let me play this TikTok real quick. Stephanie Esquire, she's in the legal field as well.
Run in the Mackenzie Shirilla case. Yes, I am yelling. Yes, I am yelling at you. I am tired of hearing about it. You people are actually making me believe that the No Child Left Behind stuff left children behind. Okay? I do not know how many times we have to go over this. She did not do a dry run 7 times. Okay? That is complete misinformation. She did not even do a dry run once. Not even one time. Not even one time. The prosecution's own witnesses, own experts debunked that at trial. Now you're saying, why, Stephanie, are you yelling? Why are you yelling? Why are you screaming? Because some of you people cannot get it through your thick skull when you read the actual documents, what they're actually saying. So we're going to go through this one more time. And since I think half of you people cannot read,
I really like her. She's not rude or anything. She's actually really good, but she does do little clips like this about the 𝗠𝗲𝗹𝗆𝗆 case that are very yeah, Boo Boo says love her. Yeah, she's really cool on her channel.
I will read it to you. Actual trial testimony from their expert, the prosecution's expert. GPS data from Shirilla's phone recorded that Shirilla's phone was located in the area of Progress in Alameda on July 28th, 2022. Now we're going to, I don't know if when you were in English class, they did this thing where you like underlined part of sentences and you slashed them out and you separated them to discuss what they mean. In the area does not mean on the road of Progress in Alameda. Now, why is that? Let's go to the next paragraph for some context clues. On cross-examination, 𝗲𝗎 admitted that the location ping from her cell phone gives a general location, not with pinpoint accuracy. Not with pinpoint accuracy. So now we have these two sentences together. What do these two sentences together tell us? You can't put her on the road on July 28th, 2022, or on any other date prior to this incident. Why is that? Because cell phone triangulation is not exact. And if there's not a lot of cell phone towers, you're not going to get a very small section.
I feel like I'm in trouble. That's funny. Wait, why isn't it playing? Oh, I paused it.
Okay. I don't know who taught you people. I don't know if you can read. There was no dry run. You are making me crash the fuck out. I realize that's bad timing and bad word choice in this case, but you are literally making me crash out. I don't know how else to get it through your heads that there was no dry run. And I'm going to yell because I'm tired of it. Stop saying it. It's not true. It's misinformation. You're just as bad as the people that think Bryan Kohberger is innocent. The end.
Oh. Now, who thinks Bryan Kohberger is innocent? Let me know in the chat. I know I've covered this. This has also been a heavy one. I also got a lot of shit for that one. Oh boy. Let me see. I have another clip. Oh, this one I thought was kind of funny. Well, not so much because I don't know if I want to play this as background music. It's only a few seconds. I think it's fine. Let me play it. It's Eminem, and it says, when people want to hate on the Shirillas for being bad parents, for
people can talk crazy about me. That's fine. They should express themselves, and they have a right to.
Oh yeah, because it's saying like, here's Miss Russo with Mackenzie holding a joint, which proves she lied in the police interview. Dang it. I didn't know that you could lie in police interviews. I thought that you could get in trouble for that. No? Okay. Next time I'm there, I'll have to think about that. Hey, Ketchup. What's a dry run? Like a dry, people say she was plotting by driving by the main road. A practice run. Thank you. And hello, Mackenzie. Yes. Okay, let's see. What else before I get to a police report I want to read? Hold, please. This is interesting. This is by my girl, Kalina. I'm going to play hers really quick.
Some type of miscommunication or misunderstanding between the people who believe that she is guilty and the people who do not believe she is guilty. First and foremost, I have never said his death was justified, ever. And I've made that clear so many times, and it irks me to my core that people keep saying that. Secondly, he's actually not the issue. It's his family. Yes, Dom was a street pharmacist, but since he has passed, he has paid for his sins and he is good to go. The point of the video that you commented on is the Russos care this much about the law. Because in my opinion, they don't mind collusion, they don't mind drug dealing, they don't mind lying under oath, among other things. So now they're trying to do this new and improved Son of Sam law. So Mackenzie doesn't make money when she comes out, because what they've done is just not enough. Hopefully that was clear to you.
Okay, these come across my page, and I do like her. She's really sweet. It is gonna be Barbie, but I know what you mean. You want a Barbie members only? She also said Dom didn't have any depression issues. Dom admits that in the text messages. So I'm going to go by what Dom says for now. You know? Let me see if I have a few others. Oh, this is interesting. This is 32 seconds. I had just found this. It says, looks like Judge Nancy Russo was a presiding judge in malpractice lawsuit brought against Christine Russo.
Nancy Russo was the presiding judge in a malpractice lawsuit brought against Christine Russo.
That music is absolutely wild. Oh man, I'm so happy I snuck in here before it turns to members only. Yeah, good one. Good one sliding in here. Yeah, they pointed out that it's a cut through, but it's not sugar. It's simply out of the way and adds time. She did not take the cut through on the way to pause, but did on the way home. I don't think that's actually true. So I take different routes there and back from places all the time. That doesn't mean anything. Listen, I went to visit my parents this weekend, and I drove absolutely the same routes that I used to drive in high school. I do. Well, I didn't know too much lies about, oh yeah. That's also not true. Getting a little heated. I might need another drink. With that being said, hold please. I'll play a video while I get another drink. Because we still have to read a police report. And we might get into Mama Russo's text if you guys are going to stay up with me. Let me see. This is going to be a members only after, so we can conversate and have respectable discussions, you know, like grown adults. Sounds like a pretty good idea to me. Let me see. When you ride dirty late at night, you take a road least likely to have police around. Okay, but like, who's riding dirty? Because we know all that stuff wasn't really Kenzie's. Kenzie participated. Yeah, we know that respectfully. Thank you. It's my favorite word. But we know that was kind of Dom's business, his thing. No judgment. I mean, like, you know, whatever. But also, let's be fair across the board then. Does it matter? Yes, it does to me, but I know I don't want to upset anyone. Not me being sarcastic. Let me pull up. Where's that picture? Hold, please. Not a lot of Kenzie pictures on my laptop. There was one I wanted to show you guys again. Why do I always misplace this? That was his neighbor. They know what he was doing. Oh yeah, I wanted to play that video too. I wanted to go over the Kendall stuff again. Okay, here. Oh, dang it. You might not be able to watch it. Oh, here, hold on. I need to upload it for you guys. What part is this? The last one? Dang it. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I mixed up the videos. Dang it. Oh, here. I figured it out. Okay. Wait. There's so much shit on my screen. Okay, here we go. Wait, is this it? 808, yeah. Let's play this while I get my drink. You be nice to each other. Okay.
Showed up.
This is when the Shirillas actually cared to call on when the Stair incident happened. Okay. Kudos to the Shirillas for this.
Kendall. Okay, Kendall, thanks.
And I don't want to hear that, oh my God, Steve looks like he doesn't care. Steve and Natalie, they care here. And whether they're worried about their daughter or not, they at least called the damn police. Hold please. Just watch.
Okay. You might want to talk. There's my daughter. Okay. I want to go down. My wife is with them right now. Sure. I don't know what happened here. Okay. This gentleman in the white was here. Apparently brought her out. That's my son that's with him right now. Okay. This other parents showed up because they called 911. How old's your daughter? She's 17. Okay. Okay.
Not my house.
Right. I don't know whose house this is.
My daughter was here.
Okay.
She could. They
She's the one that called me.
They called us, so we.
Hey, if you got to go to the hospital, go.
Yeah, I do.
So we ran over. We're down the street.
Oh, you get a number really quick?
Yes.
And you get an idea.
Or something, but apparently she was just sitting at the top of the stairs.
Did they lie about where Mackenzie was? Because I don't remember them knowing that she was in the house. And if Mackenzie was hiding in the house, why was she hiding? Because there was rugs. They were going to get in trouble for it. I would be hiding too. No, I wouldn't actually. I would have definitely called the police if someone was hurt. But I would know that would come with getting in trouble. Do you guys want to watch the rest of this or move on? Yeah, you're confusing responses as reasoning and misleading. I don't see Shirilla's being any different from any other family if you study them, and they not trash talking or criminals. No, they haven't even trash talked me. And I've trash talked them before, you know? You guys want to watch this or go on to the other TikToks that I have? We can do both. We can watch a little more of this, I guess. It's on my list anyways.
She fell on her own?
That's what, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
My daughter was scared.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
I'm so sorry. I mean, like I said,
we're gonna go.
if I'd have known it was where it was, I would have had them. I would have screamed on the phone to call 911 right then and there. By the time and then when I said they had her out of the
We were about
house,
to get in the car. And I'm stopping her. We were just.
put her down to your house because no one knew where.
Okay. Sorry, just what's your daughter's first name?
Kendall.
Okay, Kendall, thanks.
Is it okay for you to leave?
I mean, you guys just got here, right? You probably don't know.
We got here right as they were carrying out. Like I said, we're the ones that did call 911.
Yeah, he probably don't know much more than
No, other
I
than
do.
what you probably know. Other than what
I just told her don't move her. They said she had
my understanding, there was some alcohol involved.
Okay.
But I don't know if she had it or not.
I get
They
it.
said she had
I wasn't here.
So, I was eyewitness kind of what happened.
Okay.
I was playing pool and
Our caller.
Can you guys hear it?
Okay.
for falling down the steps.
Poor honey.
It's a really slick, glossy wood.
Okay.
No carpet over the steps.
Do you live here?
No.
Who lives here?
Dog.
Where is that person?
I do not know. I think she's sleeping.
How old is that person?
Okay.
Anyway, we just said don't move her. Don't move her
Get
head.
19?
Don't move her head. So
Do I have an ID?
keep
Yeah.
her still.
Okay, yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you guys called, but you don't really know more than I do at this point.
I just I didn't want to leave it.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's we're okay. Thanks.
Child failure to appear for that.
Yeah.
Columbiana County.
Metro. Okay, thanks, Captain.
There's no extradition.
I've heard from one. There's one witness. I've heard.
Who was that? Do you know?
She passed out. I'm not sure. I saw a lot of faces tonight.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people running around crying.
Brian
I do know it was
suspended in 𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 out of Parma Heights.
She said that she passed out. Fell all the way down the steps.
Did all those people leave as soon as she got hurt?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like one of the very few
sorry,
people
dog
that
barking.
Okay.
Can you repeat, please?
I got it.
Suspended 𝗶𝗶𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗆 out of Parma Heights.
But you know the person who lives here, correct?
Yeah, I don't really know last name.
19 radio.
19.
I'm up.
10.
Okay, let's see here. And you found her, basically?
She was already on the floor downstairs. She
Okay.
fell all the way down. And
So-
she was bleeding out of her nose.
Okay.
Her eye was swollen closed. Her mouth, I'm not sure if it was blood that went into her mouth. And she also didn't respond within a minute because that's what it said when I looked it up. Respond in the call. So that's why I did it right away.
Okay. Is anybody else trying to help her?
She was gurgling, yeah.
Okay.
She was gurgling, so I opened her mouth for her.
Okay. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back with you.
Yeah, Steffi, it's so crazy to me that so many kids choose to run instead of helping her. That's what I'm saying. Even if they were scared, like, I don't know. It's very worrisome.
All right. So they already took the 17-year-old female. She allegedly, this guy was one of the few that stayed. Everybody else split because lots of them were probably underage.
Yeah.
She was 17. Sounds like she's pretty significantly injured. She like fell. She said. I think.
I know Davion stayed. He always gets pushed to the back, I feel like, and everything. And Davion's life matters as well. And you know, yeah. Landon, everyone says that, you know, he was a good person. So it's very sad. But he did stay here.
She had like blood coming out of her ears. Her eye was swollen. She was gurgling. She like, according to one of the witnesses who isn't here, he was playing pool downstairs and actually stayed to help. One of the few people. I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure.
21 are you?
Might be.
21.
But yeah, can't get in there unfortunately. But everybody that's a witness is already gone, or would have been a witness.
Yeah.
This guy kind of helped after the fact, but
They're just having
I'm not sure what more we can do. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, she was
At
obviously
the hospital. It's medical.
Yeah, she was probably intox.
There's nothing really you can do, obviously.
Yeah, unless you know.
If somebody pushed her or something.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. You know, she wakes up or she's not going to remember. But if it's a really serious injury, then we're going to have to look into supplying. You know, who supplied what to who.
Right, just be catchy for now, I would say.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I got everybody's information, but
okay.
I wonder who supplied what to who.
Cool, dude. Thanks for stopping. Yeah. All right, man. If we need anything else, we'll give you a call. You know, hopefully she's okay. And yeah, thanks for helping her out. Obviously, I mean.
Is that
Yeah, Mackenzie stayed until the EMTs got there. Yeah, and she was the one who said she would talk to Dom. Remember when the police wanted to talk to Dom, and they were like, "Help us," you know, basically help us in getting him to come to the. Yeah, no, Free Mackenzie Shirilla is a friend of the channel, so they're always welcome. Everyone is, as long as you remain respectful. They all ran. Davion came outside to help prevent people from coming inside the house because Dom didn't want anyone to find the rugs. Yeah, they like locked it all up, which still shocks me. Like they could have got a warrant, right? And gone into the house and did what they had to do. I haven't watched this in a minute, so I wanted to watch this before we get to the police report.
Go.
Hi, I'm Rosie. This is me right after taking the shrooms. I'm feeling great.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Do you have a problem with anyone?
Nope, the Kit Kat was
Okay.
good. Okay, hey, my name's Kenzie, and this is me after the shrooms. We feeling good.
My name, that's federal. Number, you can't get that. You gotta get that, shawty. You gotta get that, shawty.
He's gonna be crying in the next clip, so I'll be right.
How are you feeling?
How am I feeling? Well, I'm always pimping, so.
Period. Okay. Not yet. No, go now.
Go now.
My name's Bubba. I weigh 245 pounds.
Why would Kenzie want to unalive Davion? Like, give me one good reason. Because he knew about the nudes and whatever? No. Dom, because he knew about it and was afraid Dom would find out. Dom knew. Dom was aware of it. So that can't be it.
I'm feeling good. I haven't ate a damn thing at all today, though. Only one sandwich at like 9 in the morning. Haven't ate a damn thing, so.
We'll see how it goes. Okay.
Federal.
There we go. Federal. And how are you feeling today? Right now, after taking the shrooms? 5 minutes.
If you had to kill someone in this room, who would it be?
So this kid.
Oh wow, that's Keezy. I thought he was gonna look at Kenzie because Mackenzie's psychotic. That's okay, Pepper. You can think that if you want. She didn't care in the moment. Yeah, why include him? Yeah, you can even get a warrant for a phone. Theoretically, according to prosecutors, he was just at the wrong place, wrong time. Thank you, Cree. You came with the facts. According to the prosecutors, he was just, what did they call him? Cargo, because that was Tim Troop. That was never the Shirillas. That was never Kenzie. That was not the judge. That was Tim Troop who said that. He was just precious cargo, which is actually hella fucking rude, if you ask me, but okay. This police report, you know what? I've been holding off on reading some police reports because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I thought this was interesting just to show, like, you know, that Dom was violent at times, and it's not like I mean that in a bad way, but it is. I mean, if we're gonna call Kenzie and her family out, like, we can review this public information, right? This is just one of 307 reports. I'm not gonna read them all. But I thought this was very interesting. So it's just a couple pages. And this is from October 9th, 2020. Tim Troop said it repeatedly. Yeah. So it says on Friday, October 9th, 2020, at approximately 14:05 hours, SPD officers responded to Redacted for an assault and domestic violent incident. Upon our arrivals, officers arrested subject Dominic Russo and charged him with assault, a misdemeanor of the first degree. On Friday, October 9th, 2020, I was accompanied by Patrol Steving number 60, responded to Redacted for a call of domestic violence. We are assisting Patrol Kurowski and Patrol Murphy. The following are the details. Upon arrival, I spoke with Redacted, the victim, who stated that Dominic Russo had kicked her in the middle of her chest. Redacted explained that Angela Russo and Dominic teamed up to fight Michael in the above listed address. Redacted stated that Angelo and Dominic began to fight Michael in the living room. Redacted advised me that Dominic stopped fighting and ran next door where he lives. Redacted explained that when Dominic returned, he was carrying a bat in his hand. Redacted stated that she stood in the doorway and told Dominic that he was not allowed to go inside the house with the bat. Redacted advised me after she said this, Dominic turned around and kicked her in the middle of her chest, causing her to fall down. While speaking to Redacted, it was apparent that she was having trouble breathing and was in pain. Redacted was seen by EMS, treated on the scene, and later transferred to Southwest Hospital for further medical attention. I then spoke with Michael Russo, who was involved in the fight, and he stated that he witnessed Dominic kick Redacted in the chest while he was holding a bat. On Friday, October 9th, 2020, oh, my bad. Oh, yeah. And this is basically the same. Upon our arrival, I spoke with Dominic, who stated that he and his older brother, Michael, got into a physical altercation regarding their brother, Christopher. Dominic stated that he and his brother, Angelo, came over from next door where they lived to speak with Michael about Christopher's meth use. Dominic said that during the conversation, tempers flared and he and Michael got into a physical altercation. Dominic stated that Michael pushed and punched him in the right eye, which caused a cut. In addition, Dominic stated he struck Michael in the face with a punch as well. Dominic had a visible cut above his right eye while I spoke to him. After speaking with Dominic, I then interviewed Michael about the incident. Michael stated that Dominic and Angela came over from next door and showed up at the bedroom door. He said he asked them to leave multiple times, but they refused. Michael explained that the three began to argue, at which time Dominic shoved Michael and the two began to fight. He stated as he was fighting with Dominic that Angela jumped in and began to fight him as well. Michael explained to the officers after the initial fight was broken up by Frank. Dominic proceeded back next door and retrieved a bat. Michael said he witnessed Dominic kick Redacted in the chest, who was standing at the back patio door. Before I got to speak with Redacted, she was transported to SWGH for treatment. Please refer to Patrol Davis's investigation regarding her statement on the scene. Once officers received this information from Michael, I placed Dominic Russo under arrest for assaulting Redacted, read him his Miranda rights, and I placed him in the rear of my police car. After placing Dominic under arrest, he was then transported back to SPD jail where he was booked. After Dominic was booked in SPD jail, Patrol Murphy and I went to SWGH hospital to confer with Redacted about the incident. While at the hospital, Redacted could not physically write a statement due to her condition, but provided us with a verbal statement, which I transcribed. Redacted stated that Angelo and Dominic had walked in the house while she was sitting on the couch folding laundry. Angelo began to ask Redacted and R questions about Christopher, who has not been taking his medication. Redacted said this is when Angelo and Dominic began to argue with Michael. While the argument was occurring, Redacted said Dominic lunged at Michael and proceeded to get on top of him. After seeing this, Angelo then jumped on top of Michael, who was on the ground. Redacted explained Frank then jumped in to break up the fight between Angelo, Dominic, and Michael. Redacted said after Frank broke up the fight, Dominic proceeded to leave the residence, at which that time Redacted thought he was going to get a GUN, a pew-pew. And we've heard about these pew-pews, right, with them being in Kenzie's trunk. Redacted then said once Dominic left, Angelo began to strike his father multiple times with a closed fist after he broke up the fight between the three. Further, Redacted explained that she noticed Dominic returning to the back patio with a bat in his hand. Redacted stated she told him, "You are not coming in here with that bat." After saying this, Dominic dropped the bat, did a turn, took a couple steps, and front kicked her to the chest. Redacted said this caused her to fall back into the patio chairs. Redacted mentioned that in addition to a bat, a screwdriver was found in the residence, but she was unsure who that belonged to. Dominic Russo was arrested and charged with assault of first-degree misdemeanor in Ohio Revised Code. As enclosed in the case jacket are BMV printouts, charge paperwork. All photographs have been uploaded. I respectfully request a prosecutor to review for possible domestic violence charges. Yeah, I know. So when people say that it was just Kenzie who was violent, I think it stems from maybe a mental thing, but they were both violent. And I did redact the name of that. If you can put the puzzle together about who that was, then fine, but I'm not gonna, I'm not here to do like docs names, although these are public files and Strongsville PD put them out themselves. No, it's irrelevant to Mackenzie killing Dominic Davion, but it's not irrelevant when people want to say that she was the only bully and violent one. Let me see. I think I had another clip. Oh, I had the text messages I kind of wanted to go through as well. Oh, please. I do also want to go through the appeal. I also do have a body cam of Angelo. Let me know if you guys want to watch it. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. As a members only. This one is going to be members only after the live, but I might make that completely members only. Thank you, Katie Mahoney, for the jewels. How was she violent though? She has well, in the text message, you know, because they were so toxic and verbally abusive towards each other. This would have totally been brought up in a jury trial. Yeah. And I don't want to hear that I'm disrespectful or anything of that type of shit, because I could sit here and read all of them and put out people's names and do all of that if I really wanted to. But I'm not. But I'm also not going to sit here and bash the Shirillas because people want me to. I know. We've already been through these arguments. That's funny. Arguments. Who did he kick? Why redact? Because I don't want to be disrespectful towards anyone in the Russo family. Although people think because I think that Kenzie deserves a new trial. That doesn't mean that I think she should be free and come have in and out with us. And it's Melly's channel, so Melly does what Melly wants. He has been, though. I think they were both verbally abusive. I've said this before in the text messages. They were both just toxic as fuck. Some of us would say we're even toxic now. I mean, use your noggin. It's not hard to figure out. You need to see facts on both sides, not bashing, just stating the facts. Yeah, I'm not here to bash anyone. But like I said, I'm also not going to bash the Shirillas. Or Bubba. Landon. That's what makes me crazy too. They're the ones with the domestic violence. Yeah. I know. Y'all are entitled to your own opinion. Can't do the Celeste details. I know, it is pretty brutal. What else do I have that I wanted to review tonight? I have 3 reports, but it's a lot of reading, so we might have to do that tomorrow. If you missed one of my lives, I can't remember. It was one of the last few ones. I did this report with AI, like to pull up discrepancies, and now I did it again with a couple other documents, and I want to read through those for sure because I think they'll be interesting. They seem to, thank you, Boo-Boo. They seem to mostly do their verbal fights in text, not in person, according to people who knew them as a couple. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if Kenzie is safer in prison because in prison with who's right down the road to her parents. It goes both ways, Just Pepper. You can't honestly sit here and say that he wasn't doing the same shit. That's absolutely ignorant. Thanks, Melly. My late night cravings, gosh. Say it lighter for those in the back. Yeah, maybe they should have facts over feelings. Oh, you live in Ohio? How is that? Oh, the burger. Okay. I think that's it for tonight. Let me see if we want to, do we want to go over text tonight? Or do we just want to watch some clips from the Kenzie case? I think there's another body cam. Let me see what I have here. I'm going to start uploading a lot of these things so you guys can watch them without commentary. Okay, we saw Dom getting arrested with with Davion. I do kind of want to rewatch that though. Oh yeah, I was gonna play this TikTok clip for you guys. Hold please. Espera, por favor. Por favor. Isn't this one? Hold on. Oh, I don't think I saved it. Bummer. I thought I did. Oh, here it is. Let's see what this, I found her randomly. I'm telling you.
To be in jail for the rest of her life, and she doesn't deserve to be tried as an adult. I'm not coming from a place of ego. I don't have a mental trip I'm currently going through, okay? So if I were coming from those places, I would say that this is a vile, disgusting human being that needs to be in jail for the rest of her life. But because I'm coming as someone that knows how to navigate Earth correctly and is here to help others navigate Earth correctly, I'm going to explain to you why I don't think she should be tried as an adult, or she should be in jail for the rest of her life. Human beings since 1781, not only did they go from 7 chakras to 9 chakras, but we live longer lives. Before 1781, we had 7 chakras and we lived roughly around 30 years old, which means we matured at 15. Ever since 1781, we now have 9 chakras, and the lifespan of our bodies are approximately 74 years old. So what does this mean? This means that we do not enter into adulthood until our Saturn return at the age of around 30. And our flowering and our maturing process, which is not a guarantee for everybody, but depending on if you've been living correctly or not, the flowering and maturing process happens around 50 years old, Chiron return. With all that being said, there are 12 human design profiles. Now, 4 out of those profiles have a 6 in their profile. I looked Mackenzie up. According to where the planets were at 537, I'm willing to bet she was born around that time because of where the planets were. She has a 6 in her profile, which means these are the children that are the most perfect candidates to groom. Just to name a few other 6s, famous 6s, so you guys can kind of get an idea. Justin Bieber, Selena Quintanilla, Britney Spears, those are a few. It's very easy to groom a child with a 6. Even if they don't have a 6, obviously kids are vulnerable, especially at such a young age. They think they know better, and they are far from knowing better. So a 6, if you have misguided a 6, you can turn that 6 into whatever you want, depending on what kind of parents you have. You can turn that child into whatever you want. I don't think prison for the rest of her life is a solution. I think that the parents are to be held accountable, but we don't live in that kind of society. We live in a society that has us groomed thinking that once a human being turns 18, they are a full-grown adult that knows what they're doing. Much like Mackenzie's parents have groomed her to go as far as to kill 2 people on purpose.
This is the type of shit that pops up on my For You page.
Society has groomed us in more ways than we can understand, and one of those ways is believing that once a human being turns 18, that they are full-grown adults.
I've said this before. I'm like, it's not like you automatically get a new brain when you turn 18. Who got a new brain when they turned 18? Exactly that day. Oh, Creatively says she was groomed in a mule. I like her. I know. I thought it was interesting. Let's continue.
That is not the case. I highly encourage you to look up your human design chart and follow this account if you are interested, and if you are a wolf. Okay, if you're a sheep, that just nods your head and does whatever the government, that's falling apart, by the way, the government says to do, then this is not the account for you. But if you are ready for the truth and you want to follow along with your chart, this is the account for you. I would highly encourage, if you are a parent, to look up your child. And if they have 6, this child needs extra guidance, okay? And if you don't know what kind of guidance to give it, again, follow this account, because the tides are turning. And we're not going to be able to run to go get a job like we used to do for over 400 years, okay? A new global cycle is coming in, and
That's true.
things are going to change very drastically. Follow along, because it's going to be very important, especially once 2027 comes along, to be able.
Oh, very interesting. She stayed loyal by never telling, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna follow her. She's observed the Maya. I'm into that kind of stuff. Let me see. I'm looking for my other. Wait, can you see what I'm looking at? Okay, good though. Let me see if I have any more clips that I needed to. Okay, here we go, because a lot of you have been talking about this in the chat tonight. So let's listen to what she has to say. Stephanie, we listened to her earlier.
Y'all are really pressed about this in my comment section. When I talked about the type of person that Dominic was. So we're gonna go over this again. Okay, Dom.
Thank you, Kayla. Says your playlist, your throwback playlist, Save My Mood. You're just Jane for Jen Soto takes me out. Now that's one person I'll catch a charge for. Put me in the room with Jen Soto right now. Right now. Baha. Her parents should have protected her. My parents protected me at the age. You know what? I was a little bit like Kenzie. Like, absolutely not. My parents did everything in their power, and I was still a wild child. I was still sneaking out. I was still texting boys. I was still, doing all these things you're not supposed to be doing. Not the yeller. Yes, the yeller.
Drive straight into a wall with 2 other passengers. No need for his character to be analyzed. You are incorrect. You are incorrect. Because when we are talking about a case, okay, when we are analyzing a case through the lens of the law, all right, and we are trying to form intent, we're trying to analyze whether there is intent, we need to determine how that is formed. Now, everyone, without any inkling of proof, okay, mind you, there is no factual proof that Mackenzie intended to drive that car into a wall. Okay, what people are using as intent is the way.
Jen Soto is Maddie Soto's mom. You know, the one that was allowing her boyfriend to sleep with her child. If you know what I mean.
The way she treated Dominic. Okay, the abuse that she caused him, the way she spoke to him, the toxicity that she had towards him, and all of those things. Okay, the time she said, "I'll wreck this car right now," which, by the way, should have never come in a trial in the first place, but nevertheless. Okay, now that was used to prove her intent and premeditation. Now, how do you negate that? Okay, how do you say, well, that doesn't prove intent? You say, well, that doesn't prove intent because they both acted a fool. Okay, you can't say that she intentionally drove into a wall because of how she treated Dominic, because Dominic treated her just the same way. It doesn't rise to the level of intent, because if that is how she felt, she had 3, 4, 5, a plethora of years to do this, and she had opportunities to do it when Davion was not in the car.
Yep.
It doesn't rise to the level of intent because at this point, Dominic was also just as bad as she was.
She's an attorney or something. I can't remember her exact position. I'll let you know.
So what made this time different? What made this time different? Because he was just as bad as she was. So why is this time different? You have to differentiate this specific date and time from any other time that the two of them were in a car alone while she was driving. What made this time different? You can't just go off of. You cannot just go off of she was mad that he was going to break up with her, this, that, and the third, because they've done that 300 times. They've done that 300 times. So why is this time different? That is why.
Did I not just say this earlier too?
His character and how he treated her and what he did is relevant. Because at any given time, this could have ended if you think she intended to drive into a wall and kill herself, kill Dominic, and kill Davion. Why is this time different if he was just as bad to her and she was just as bad as him every other day of the year? That disproves intent. So that is why we have to look at the character, the reliability, and the type of person that he is as well. That is why this is important, and this is an important conversation to have. And if you can't understand that, that's fine. I just never want you on a jury.
Oh.
I hope to God you are never on a jury.
Oh. I like her.
It is relevant to the formation of intent and premeditation.
There you go. She used the legal terms. Yeah, she's good. Her name's Stephanie Esquire. Her position is. I guess an Esquire. She does all kinds of stuff. She covers all the cases we cover here. So check her out. I don't believe she's on YT, but she definitely is on TT. Let me see if I have something else by her I wanted to show you guys. She also talks about the Nolan Wells case. Oh, this one will be interesting. Okay, this one's funny. It's going to talk about Kenzie's new picture, which she looks good in.
Shirilla updated her.
Don't
Instagram
come for
post.
me.
So if you
Don't
don't know
come for
why
me.
you're
Do
incarcerated, you
not
can
come
have
for me.
people update your Instagram.
Yeah, is an Esquire an attorney? Let me look. I'm just a girl who loves true crime. I believe it is like an attorney. Licensed lawyers. It signals to clients in courts they have graduated from law school, passed the bar exam, and are authorized to practice law. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. I'm like, so yeah.
Instagram or your social media posts for you, and her family has updated her Instagram for her. So this is the photo that she uploaded. It's on her official Instagram. You can go over there, and let's talk about what the caption says. The caption reads, Mackenzie is trying to do better every day and holding on to hope. Her post-conviction relief was denied due to a deadline technicality. The decision has nothing to do with the contents of it. It was unable to even be reviewed. Her appellate lawyer missed a deadline by filing it 1 day late due to leap year, which also makes him ineffective assistance of counsel. Mackenzie and her family, along with...
Don't unsubscribe because I said she looks decent, okay? Chill out.
Everyone's help will
Chill out on me.
Will respectively continue to do everything they can so that the merits of the brief can be heard just as anyone else would do in their position. To me, that means that they'll probably file an ineffective assistance of counsel appeal on the attorney who missed the deadline. Now, I have said already that I think that that's what's coming next, but let's keep reading. Keep sharing everything you can, and please sign into this petition for a fair retrial. We all deserve fair representation, and once you review her case, you'll agree she did not get that. Message this account for the link or follow it here at thechange.org petition, okay? Hashtag free Mackenzie, Mackenzie Shirilla, wrongfully convicted, the crash. Now, I know that everybody has their opinions on Mackenzie Shirilla. I know that everybody has their opinions on whether or not she did or she did not commit this crime. I personally do not think that she is guilty of murder. I really don't.
Oh.
I don't think that she's guilty of murder. I do think that she did not have a fair trial, and I do think that she deserves a new trial. And the only way to get her a new trial is for her to win an appeal. So that's where we're at this point. I don't know what the family is planning on doing. I don't know whether or not they're planning on appealing for ineffective assistance of counsel because of the denial of this appeal. I assume that's the next step, but again, I don't know. So let me know.
We heard from Chris Cuomo that it's habeas corpus, right? Okay, so I think that's it for tonight. I think that's all I got for Kenzie tonight. Don't you worry. I will never be done talking about Kenzie. I know. You hate me. Same as Buck Wild. Didn't matter what my parents said. I just didn't care. Yeah, exactly. Mackenzie's a victim of not being a likable person in court of public opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, she does have a YouTube, Stephanie Esquire. Okay, we'll have to check her out. Interesting conversation. We'll be back with more Kenzie tomorrow. I might do a straight members only tomorrow night. So I might make this members only. So shout out to everyone that was here. But I'll do probably a strictly members only when we go over some body cam, or not body cam, well, police cam of Angelo. Yeah, I know. You're asking me what? I did. I found something. I followed a lot of the cases, but Melly's playlists are gold. Yeah, go check out the playlist for sure. We're covering a lot of cases right now. So we're covering Nolan Wells, we're covering Laura Owens, we're covering Kenzie, we're covering Lindsay Clancy, we're covering David. So definitely peep the playlist, catch up on the video that I did earlier, the live stream, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be uploading some Kenzie documents or interviews and clips and whatnot. So make sure you guys check those out, please. Definitely hit the like button. Yeah, thank you guys all for being here. I haven't been on this late in a while, but we're going on 2.5 hours. So shout out to you guys for being here. We'll probably be doing more late nights then, because I see a lot of you guys are up being bad. Okay, well, please make sure you guys hit the like button. I'll decide if I want to put this members only or just make a strictly members only tomorrow. Yes, please hit the like button. Trying to shame me figuring out how to get a membership. Tune into the first live tomorrow and maybe I'll give some memberships. Good luck, Melly. I respect your opinion and everybody else's. We all have the right to our own opinions. Yes. Stop coming for me. Just kidding. Well, no, not kidding. But I mean that with like love. Just respectfully. Anyways, okay. Good night. I'll catch you on the next one. R.I.P. Dom and Davion. Bye. I don't know why I didn't.